Good afternoon once again. Welcome to the season finale of The Shrine. First of all, today is a special day. As of yesterday night, we have new European champions.
So, Bagamba last night, Bagamba yesterday night.
Some people broke
Use English, don't let English use you. Colonize. Why am I following the white man's rules as long as you get my point? Anyway, as of last night, let appease you. They are new European champions. I think let everyone come for them.
Come on, Yoko.
What about the winners of CAF Champions League?
We are decolonized. Please,
But please, the core of this team is made by Africans. N'Golo Kante, you know.
I think they did fairly well. In the spirit of giving credit where it's due, at least they have kept the Guardiola fanboys silent.
Yeah, and as for CAF Champions League, the team I'm backing, Al Ahly, is in the semi-finals. So that's it for decolonization. In the spirit also of shouting out, as we come to the season finale, I have to shout out to some people who have been with us from the first episode. They've been watching, giving feedback. I know others do so, but if you don't comment or like, it's hard to tell, or reach out to one of our hosts, it's hard to tell. But there are some people who regularly comment, and like if you read our comments, there are some people who are there.
Okay.
For starters, Chiza Chihembo always comments on the podcast, reads, gives feedback. Who else? Yeah. He actually even came through and we did the vaccination podcast. Who else? I can see Winnie. Winnie always watches and gives me feedback. Rukunda Obwezire. What does that word mean, by the way? You are the Muhimu.
What is the way?
Rukunda Obwezire. What does Why deny your own heritage? Okay, first, since you speak the language, what does Rukunda Obwezire mean?
Rukunda is love.
Rukunda Obwezire.
Rukunda?
Obwezire.
Obwezire, I'm not so sure.
We shall do the research. But Rukunda Obwezire, thank you for watching. He's always watching, giving feedback. Recently, I met Bob, Albert's bro, and he also was
Hey, you have been watching?
Yes, so Albert, thank you for doing the good work and spreading the love. People abroad, everyone who watches, please. We appreciate your feedback and we hope to do better. Speaking of shoutouts, we'd like to shout out to the Tribe podcast. For those of you who are fans of Ugandan hip hop or patriots generally, you should check.
People have done a good job.
Yeah.
If you take pictures with you, one leg up like the crested crane, more money, but just.
I think it is you're oversimplifying it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, they have a really dope podcast. So what's this what's this guy's name? There's Hagai and then there's Felix, right? So they've been carrying the Tribe since we were back in campus.
Way back.
And so they know they've learned their content, they've been around Ugandan hip hop circles, and so they have some really good
Skyline Media, Twambale, Apparel.
They make nice shirts. I once bought a shirt from Twambale.
This one?
No, not I said I once bought a shirt. Please don't insult Twambale. This one, no, this is a business I was once part of, and I'm still supporting.
Well,
They make you.
I'll charge you for advertising.
Yeah.
But okay, pass one free ad.
Right, so they make yogurt. It's called Creaky Yogurt. It's fresh from the farm. I
Where are you?
Eh?
Where are you? We don't see you anywhere in the market. Have you ever seen Creaky Yogurt?
We have Mutuawasi yogurt. No, like the taste is good, right?
No, but where are you? We don't see
find
you in
it
the
in
supermarket.
supermarkets.
Distribution.
Yeah, because they're mostly, so they're just entering Kampala. So they came from Luweero, northern Uganda, and they're just making their way into Kampala.
Okay.
Right? Okay. But they're there in Kampala, and some of you said it's
they treated it as a guerrilla movement war.
They make good job. That's why if you see them, right. But back to Twambale. Twambale makes really good t-shirts, statement tees.
Please. Cut the ad. They're not paying us enough. Felix, peace reaches here and there, but you bear with us.
You guys refuse to leave something in the basket of the ancestors. But not we leave, you decide to take it to drink Uganda Waraj.
Those are serious allegations, and the ancestors can strike me down if they are true. Whatever offertory is brought into this basket is treated with utmost respect.
Stop eating their offertory.
No. It goes to paying yaka for them so that they don't be in darkness and warmth and all those other good things.
Buying some alcohol for the libation.
Yeah. That is no, it is not embezzled. Don't operate like the government voted. Otherwise,
what color would you like your drones?
Otherwise,
please remember that police bond is not free.
I said the government voted, so do you know what he voted? So see, in Uganda it's a secret government. There's a people's government also. It's not out of the people's government.
Have you heard of the curious case of Mike Muhima?
One of my was arrested
for cracking a joke.
Trolling, basically, for making a meme.
Yeah, so.
Free Mike Muhima. That is a serious matter. Free Mike Muhima.
Yeah, he's free.
He's free.
Yeah, he
was released. He was given bond, but I think
he was given bond. Then he went back. Then he was freed again.
Oh, yeah. But the matter been dealt with conclusive.
No, someone told me that his issue may be one of dick swinging. That there is someone who is trying to prove a point on him. To put it mildly, so it resolving is not really a matter of legal schematics. Just be massaging someone's ego.
Wow. Story for another day.
We're not competent to comment on
yeah.
Also, it is a rumor I heard.
We don't have enough information to make an opinion.
It is a rumor given by my border guy.
Uganda police, if you're looking for him, I have his address to expound more on this rumor. Yeah, it is to explain further.
Further, better particulars.
Yeah. Otherwise, today's topic, getting to today's topic, is one that hit me when I was trying to read through the book of this rich man in Uganda, BMK, Building My African Fortune, something like that. I'm not good with titles. And there's a chapter where he emphasized it was talking about parenting, the right way to parent, as if there's ever such a thing. But anyway, we're all shaped by our experiences, and he was influencing for his kids also and his parenting style. So he was saying it's best, his preferred method of parentage is preparing your kids, not preparing for them. Preparing them, not preparing for them. And he goes ahead to give examples, of course, that have worked for him and his kids, what. But I don't know. It goes to beg. What if you produce a child who is not as
academically gifted?
Yes. Even street smart.
He's just not an intelligent person.
How do you prepare him to be like you?
Then I don't think you prepare him. I think you prepare him, you don't prepare for him.
That's
because
what I'm saying.
It's like, right? You look at it like, think of any growth and development the same way you'd think of it if you were to show up in a gym. Okay? Day one in a gym is shit. Alright? But day 300, if you've been consistent, alright, is much easier.
okay? Because all the shit that has happened between day 1 and day 300, all right, has prepared you for day 300. Like you're now more efficient, you're more capable, right? And it's now second nature to you, okay? But that all comes from you as an individual being prepared for the whole transaction. You know, the usual nonsense. You wake up, you need the discipline to keep working out, you tear your muscles, you get tired, you break something, but you have to keep going back, right? And so in time, some things are no longer new to you, okay? And you actually have the fortitude to keep going without the initial preparation. Because you find that carrying your first 10 kilogram dumbbell is an issue. But by day 300, you're carrying 20 kgs or 50, and you're not even looking for 80.
Related to raising it.
So if your kid is dumb, right, you actually can't.
Not as gifted.
Okay, not as gifted.
Yes.
You actually can't prepare them.
So
because you're thinking on two different wavelengths, right? So what you do is you do what the Spartans did before us, and you do what every animal has been doing for a very long time. You kick your child to the elements, it comes back bruised, you clean it up, and tomorrow you kick it out again until it finally gets used and moves on.
I think it's not as easy as that. What do you think?
I think parenting is a very complex process. It is not as simple as preparing for. But however, I must emphasize that preparing for your child is very, very important. More important than maybe preparing them. Because you might prepare them as perfectly as you would like to, but there's nothing better than giving them something to start with. Even the safety catch. I have noticed that some of the best entrepreneurs who have some of the most efficient entrepreneurs who have succeeded in the business world, most of them have had a safety net. The ability to fail and try again. But some people, of course, there's nobody who will do it perfectly the first time. So if you were not given, if they never prepared for you, and for you have no safety net, your first attempt at doing business will fail, and you will not be able to try again, because there will be nothing to try with in the first place. So,
as Chihugu's role model once said, that he got a small loan of
10 million. That's the small loan.
The small loan.
So most of them are like that. But as a parent, you just have a duty to start making your children do things the right way, because I think repetition is the mother of skill. For one to learn how to do a certain thing well, they have to have done it over and over and over. Have failed, done it badly, until finally done it well. So yeah, I think you can only do so much. But I also don't want to have any bias that if the kid is not as gifted, that you should give up from the first stage. You should treat them more harshly than another.
Someone has told us, kick him in the head.
So let me tell
you, Spartan style treatment.
There are people who are not as gifted and have achieved.
That's what I'm saying now.
There's an Indian guy, right? And I watched this over a period of a month, right? So first we were paying for swimming lessons. The instructor would come every day, and he'd teach you how to float, how to breathe, all that bullshit, right? So there's this Indian guy. He would come, he's with his wife and his son. So he would pay for his wife to go down to the sauna, steam bath, massage. But she was busy, he'd tell the son you first to go and change into your outfit. So you tell the son you first go and change into your outfit. So the kid would come out in his swimming trunks and run around, because the kid couldn't swim, right? We were all learning. He was very young at the time. So he was running, Daddy, look at me, jumping around the edge of the pool. The dad would push him into the swimming pool. So the lifeguard, the first time lifeguard was like, no, you should tell him, you grab my hand. So the kid would struggle, grab the hand, the old man would pull him out. Are you okay? I'm like, I'm okay. So after some 10-15 minutes, the kid is walking around again, or just standing, looking scared. They would push him in. Just keep pushing him in. So eventually it grew from grab my hand to grab the rails. And slowly by slowly, the dad kept pushing him further and further out from safety, right? And so this kid knew how to swim like within a month. The rest of us that took 2 months of paying for swimming lessons, this guy just told the kid, now you figure it out on your own, as long as you're not dying. So it's what he's saying, right? You let the kid fail, all right? Put him in an environment to fail. But also make sure that at least you're there to hold his hand once in a while, so that he doesn't completely drown and you're out the kid.
I think, as a child, they are very impressionable and emotional and all this. You risk alienating them especially when they grow up.
This was the conversation.
This so-called tough love may not always work.
And especially in this generation of counseling.
This business of berating, telling the kid you're fool, you know nothing. You might think you're toughening him, preparing him for the world, but he will believe these things. When you're a father, it's different to be told by a teacher that you're a fool. It is another thing to be told the same by your father. You start to say that maybe it's true. Maybe I'm actually a fool and you will not put effort. You get say me after I'm a fool, let me.
But it's the same. So Eddie Griffin once did a comedy sketch about this, right? His argument was Joe Jackson beat Michael Jackson into being a billionaire. Right? Would Michael Jackson be grateful or annoyed? That's the question. Because without the father treating him the way he did, Michael Jackson might have never been Michael Jackson.
And there are very many kids.
But at the same time, the cost of the father treating him the way he did is they now have a broken relationship. Yes. They had a very broken relationship. True. So the question now stands, should you be grateful or should you resent him for it?
I think that is for them to decide later.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing, right?
It's a paradox.
It's a paradox
indeed. But I want to emphasize that not everyone who treats their kid with hostility gets the results they want.
Of course.
Some people, not all people, react to pressure the same way.
Exactly.
And that hostility doesn't always bring good results.
But at the same time,
we've seen suicidal cases because
some people have
but at the same time, not everyone who handles their kids with soft gloves.
And I'm not saying the alternative is handling them with soft gloves, but there's being reasonable. You can reason with these kids. People have a dangerous tendency of infantilizing children. You find a boy is 14, but to you he's a kid, but he actually understands something. Then you can reason with him. Certain times you can sit down with the fellow, explain things to him, and he will understand. But for you feel this is a fool, and I must
teach him. Come on, buy.
Yes. I personally don't think that there's a parenting style that is bound to work. I think a lot depends on the nature of the child, his inherent, his thought process. A lot is like the parent can only do so much, can only provide an enabling environment to ensure that the kid thrives.
But then I agree with that, right? But a large part of raising a child, especially in hoping that they are successful, lies in the ability to expose them to failure early enough, while not bashing them for it. As a parent, one of the most surefire ways to prepare your kid for success, right? If that's what you're looking for, is the ability to prepare them to accept failure early on in life. Like you'll go out, you'll have a bad day. Max is as if you have you got 2%. And you don't harm yourself.
You feel unwise.
And you feel unwise, but you don't harm yourself, right? So you need to instill the spirit of tomorrow is another day. We live and we'll fight tomorrow. I feel like that's a very important thing to instill in your child. Let me finish the point, right? So like that is like at an absolute bare minimum, there's certain qualities you need to instill in your child, no matter how you look at it. And I think that is one of the most important ones. And having a material safety net, like you said, yes, it's very good, because if the child does not have a safety net, right, then he is not in a position to keep taking risks. But at the same time, if he's too comfortable with his safety net, then even his ability to take risks is dampened. Because if there is no, I have a plan B, if plan A fails, I can fuck around with plan A, knowing that after all, there's plan B, right? So you need to also help him sort of focus his priorities. So you just need to help him learn how to prioritize and learn how to fuck up. I feel like fucking up is something that's not appreciated enough in our education system.
Yeah, the ability to fail and keep moving. Actually, that is the most important thing. The people that have achieved success over the years have failed so many times. We just don't hear about the times they failed. But I was reading a book of Ashley Vance of Elon Musk, and I realized that for us we saw the fruits, but not where the man went through. We never heard about all the failed launches that the man failed to launch the rocket so many times that he had lost count of the number of times he had failed. But when it finally worked, everyone was very excited. It sounded so good. But I think what mattered most is the fact that he was able to fail all those times, lose all that money, and keep going. So yeah, I agree with you that it's a very important habit to teach people. your child, to teach your child.
Teach your kid that today you fuck up, tomorrow you try.
You would fail and come back again.
Even if you fail the second and third time, keep going.
So, yeah. That shows you that your parents, both of you, did a good job because you failed at getting children. Advising other people on how to raise
I
their.
think failing would come from an attempt where you want to achieve it.
If we check your phone,
you don't find any evidence that I've ever been interested in getting a child.
But I would like to ask, as whom are you judging, sir? As a fellow conspirator, or as one who has succeeded in this?
Ancestors not made with trivial issues that you humans get up to. We look at them as amusement.
Okay, sir.
We look at them as amusement. But talking of parenting and parenting for billionaires and preparing and not preparing, there's a rising trend of billionaires not giving their wealth directly to children. Recently, actually, Mark Zuckerberg, Warren Buffett himself, Bill Gates, I think it's Buffett who said he has 3 children, I think, and he's going to leave them each.
His wealth. Yeah? He has only 3 kids with his wealth.
You see now.
He's African.
If I had Buffett's wealth, trust me, I'd have like 2 clans.
You'll be able to have the ring.
You're joking. The world would know my name.
Anyway, he has 3 children, and each of the 3 children is only going to leave them 2 billion. Of course,
only 2
billion.
Only 2 billion.
No, but
in a part of the world, 2 billion is not
he's worth like what, 88 or some number. I have some crazy number like that. So leaving 6 of the 88, really, someone has to wonder, you know, what's wrong.
That is
Michael
not even,
Bloomberg.
That is not even enough.
I think that is PR for this video.
He wants to hide the rest of it. Charitable trust.
All of these guys. Recently, it was Jackie Chan and his son, Jackie Chan.
But
Who said, now Jackie Chan took it.
But I understand where.
Said he's leaving nothing.
I understand where Jackie
Nothing
Chan.
to the
I understand where Jackie Chan comes from. So, right,
Right.
in Chinese philosophy, right? Chinese
What
believe.
don't you know, sir?
No, because I actually watched that interview and he broke it down.
Yeah.
Because there was a
Yeah,
day where
that's nice.
work was slow and there was a lot of internet. So he breaks it down. In Chinese philosophy, he was giving an example. For him when he was growing up, right? Whenever he would come home, he would arrange his shoes. Like, put off your shoes, remove the shoelaces, right? This is their spot. Like everything of his was. And so for him, he was saying that in China, there is a rigid system that children need to follow when they're bringing them out, so that it helps them espouse the values that they feel are responsible for their success. What the West calls tiger mums, right? Where you know that popular Western movie description where the mother is always with the child's neck, learn to play piano, you must play piano, right? But it is the discipline and consistency that they're chasing, not so much the piano. Okay, sometimes the piano, but they're just chasing. Yeah, they're chasing. They're trying to teach you how to focus and be disciplined in one thing, right? And so Jackie Chan's argument is he feels because his kid has been raised in America, right? He lacks this skill, and despite Jackie's best efforts to try and instill these values in him, Mwana bad. So for him, the way he's looking at it is, oh no, Mwana, because I have failed to teach him, because I have failed to teach him, right? I have done my very best. I've taught him. He acts like the lessons he does not make. So after I am gone, let the world teach them to you. It may be a better teacher than I am. And it looks unfair, right? But at the end of the day, remember this, that it's an actual thing, right? Oh, the first generation struggles to make the money. True. The second generation consolidates the money. The third one goes it. Now from the third going down, right? The fourth, fifth, they start spending and wasting it, right? So it becomes a sort of cycle. And the only reason that happens is because the kids born to each generation, all right? If I walked 20 kilometers to go to school, and now I have a powerful Range Rover, my kid does not need to walk 20 kilometers to go to school. True. But the fact that I walked 20 kilometers to go to school, yes, it was suffering, but it also taught me discipline and commitment.
So I either have to find another way to teach my kid those same lessons in a way that makes him uncomfortable. But should I fail because I already have the Range Rover, that child is going to grow up without those lessons. So as each generation goes and keeps getting more and more successful, the lessons that laid the foundation of our success keep getting washed away. So at a certain point, there's a generation born. There's a generation born without those skills at all, and that's where the downhill slope sort of comes from. So the best thing you can do for your kids, especially the way Jackie Chan looks at it, alright, is you either teach them the lesson, okay, or put them in a position where they're forced to learn the lesson in of themselves.
Well, I saw an about that. So he was saying his grandfather rode a camel. His father drove a car. Him, I think he has been in planes, but the way he looks at it, his kids are driving cars, and his kids may be back to camels because tough times, strong men. Soft times.
Strong men create soft times.
Yeah.
Good times produce weak men. Yeah. Weak men create tough times.
Tough times.
Which in turn creates
tough times. So it's a cycle.
Yeah.
But then again, at the same point, if you're Warren Buffett's kid, first of all, he's worth 88 million. Alright? Secondly, the man is like 90. Unless I'm wrong, right?
Yeah.
Meaning you as his kid, you're like around 30, 40. Okay? Blood. If you've grown up with a rich father who has reached 88 billion, when you're in your 30s, and even in your 40s, 50s, you still need to inherit from him. Let us agree.
You're not a serious
You're not a serious individual. You're being a very serious individual in this life of ours.
On that note.
But I believe we can borrow a leaf from, for instance, the Indians. Around 2017, I met a young man called Miraj Barot. He was 21 years old by the time. And he was the son of Tirupati, the gentleman who owns Tirupati. But at the age of 21, this man understood the business that the father was doing. He was practically running the show. He was very, very deeply involved. And I could tell that if that man passed away, leaving that boy at 21, even at that time when he was 21, he had the capacity to keep the thing going and even make a lot more money than they were.
So in essence, you agree with Mr. BMK that it's better to prepare the kids than to prepare for them.
It's a balance of both.
It's a balance of both. I find myself in the middle. That
you need a bit of leaning more
towards preparing for them.
You
may lean more towards preparing them.
I need the
What do you people think? Tell us in the comments. Like, subscribe. It has been a good episode. Thank you for sticking with us throughout the whole season. Peace.
Yes.